Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel Lux Insider with Anita Khatri. And today I am super excited because I'm with Matthieu Haverlan. Haverlan?
Haverlan, yes.
Haverlan.
You got it.
Matthieu Haverlan, who is the managing director of Ulysse Nardin brand, which is known to our viewers. But not only that, he's also the co-owner of the brand itself. So over to Matthieu to discover about the newest and the latest creation that is being launched during Dubai Watch Week. So Matthieu, thank you first of all to give us time today.
Thank you very much for coming also all the way to Dubai. And first time that we're actually sitting down and having time to discuss.
That's true, indeed. In fact, you wouldn't believe that I just discovered that this is a collaboration between Urwerk and Freak. So my first question to you is, I see the watch, I'm very excited to know more about it, but what made you to come together? It's Urwerk and it's Freak. I mean, Freak is Freak. Freak is something which is what Ulysse stands for. It's an icon, right?
Yeah.
In its own way. So you decided to have a collaboration with Urwerk. What made you do that?
I think there is several reasons. First of all, the story of that watch goes way back, about 30 years ago.
You mean to say Urwerk?
Yes.
Or Freak?
No, the reason why we've launched that.
Okay.
The
Okay.
why. Sometimes you have to explain why you create something, right?
Sure.
And to really understand that, you have to go back to the end of the 90s. At that time, watchmaking was still very much traditional, right? Watches were designed in the very same way for centuries. And around the years 2000s, you had a few visionary watchmakers that wanted to challenge that statu quo. And two of the driving forces of what I would call the independent modern haute horlogerie era were Urwerk and Ulysse Nardin. Urwerk obviously started in 1997 with the...
Yeah,
Urwerk.
it's rather young brand.
It's a rather young brand, but that watch is, I would say, paying tribute to the last 25 years of watchmaking. It's paying tribute to the modern era of independent watchmaking.
A revolutionary.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with you on that. Yes.
So, and then we had in mind actually 2026, which is going to be the 25th anniversary of the Freak, because we started to basically work on that project 4 years ago.
4 years ago? You've been working on this collaboration 4 years since?
Yes, and at that time we wanted to associate ourselves. Part of that celebration, we wanted to associate the brand with another watchmaker, and Urwerk came quite naturally for several reasons. One, they are independent. They were born more or less at the time where the Freak was born. They were born in 1997. The Freak was created and launched in 2001. And they have that little bit of a rebel element to the brand. Yes, for me it was really, and for the company it was a natural fit. And on top of that, that is more subtle, but the territory of expression of Urwerk is space, right?
Yes.
And before the Freak was born, Ulysse Nardin, and I remember a quote from Le Montre magazine, which I was reading in France, that was saying, Ulysse Nardin is the watchmaker of the sea and the stars.
Sea and the stars, yes.
Because of our legitimacy in marine chronometry and also astronomical complications.
Correct.
So that also added up to the why, it made sense to do something with Urwerk.
And let us understand your piece.
Yes.
What the piece is all about, because I can see a little bit of Freak, but I can also see a little bit of satellite of Urwerk.
Indeed.
So can you explain to us a little bit? I love the watch. I love the color. What I like is it's a Freak.
Yes, it's a Freak.
It's a Freak to freak out.
Yes, actually we call it the You Are Freak.
You Are Freak. Okay.
You Are Freak. It's for me a full hybridation between the Freak concept with the wandering hours of Urwerk. You know, the
Wandering hour of the
they call it the wandering hours, which is
3 hours, right?
the satellite.
The 3 hours one,
Yes.
right? Yeah, you can explain to us. Yeah.
So what you have is obviously a free concept. It doesn't have a crown.
Yes.
You set the time on the bezel. You wind the watch from the back when you want to give it a little bit of push. I'll show you in a minute. But it's obviously also automatic. It's the base of the caliber is the caliber of the Freak One, the Freak that won the iconic GPHG award in 2003. And we had to completely
2003.
2003 we won the award of the iconic GPHG award
Yes.
with
Yes.
the Freak
Yes.
One,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
the middle range of the
Correct.
Freak.
Correct.
But we had to completely rethink that caliber from scratch, because here you see that the carousel and the oscillating organ is in the very center. The oscillator is the center, which is not off center usually like in a Freak, which was a challenge. We also wanted the watch to be quite thin. So we had to find a way to basically to fit the carousel, to make it centered, and to be able to fit the satellite hour display of Urwerk. So from the very first idea to the complete product, indeed, it took us almost 4 years. We had to rethink completely the caliber. We have developed more than 150 new components, watchmaking components, that were not part of the Ulysse Nardin books or Urwerk books before.
So these components are part of the new caliber?
Yes.
So these components were made in-house?
I mean, yes, the whole caliber had been made in-house. Yes.
In Ulysse Nardin's manufacture?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
Neuchâtel?
No, it's in La Chaux-de-Fonds and Le Locle.
Yes, Le Locle. Yes.
Our museum is in Le Locle, and our factory is in La Chaux-de-Fonds. So I think there is 3 key elements to remember about that watch. It's a unique design, because you don't have anything like that on the market, combining the carousel, the Freak, and the wandering hour, the satellite hour display. 2, it's a marvel of engineering.
Definitely.
It's obviously a very complex mechanism. It's also a caliber that encompasses pioneering technologies.
Sure.
With 2 strong elements. The first one is actually on the back, because this complex mechanism has the convenience of being automatic. And it can only be automatic because it's powered by the grinder, which is a patented technology of Ulysse Nardin, which doesn't operate like a regular rotor, and that is the most effective automatic winding mechanism in the industry. That's the same mechanism that also operates the Freak S, which is at the pinnacle of the Freak collection, which is the only double oscillating automatic timepiece on the market. And the last element of the pioneering technologies is the silicon technology. Obviously, UN pioneered the use of silicon with the Freak in 2001. So we had to have a lot of silicon technology in the watch.
So what is the material that you use for the entire case?
The silicon is for the escapement, the balance wheel, the hairsprings.
This case is?
It's in titanium.
That's what I wanted to ask. Whether it's looking very light and it has that finish, but I wasn't sure whether it is titanium. It is titanium.
Indeed, because in the end we wanted to have the best combination of Ulysse Nardin and Urwerk. So if you think about the sun-blasted titanium, and actually we really went back and forth on a lot of trials to really have that matte finish, yet that reflects a little bit the light. So this is definitely something that reminds you of Urwerk. You've got also the vivid yellow, which is an iconic color of Urwerk. You've got also the fluted bezel this way here on the bezel.
Lovely. It looks very, very, very sporty and very chic.
But also here on the bezel in the back, where to wind the watch manually.
How do you wind it? You said
it's this way.
Oh, okay.
So it has a 90-hour power reserve. It's automatic.
Okay.
But you're going to wind it this way like you would wind even, through the crown and automatic watch. And then the way, obviously, you can try it on. It's very smooth.
Oh, yes. It's like literally steering wheel. I'm not saying that, you sit in the car, it's huge, but it seems like it's so smooth.
Yes,
The smoothness makes you feel that you are driving a car. It's so smooth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very nice.
And
Very nice.
obviously, the way you're going to set the time, it's through the bezel. So you lift this locker up, and then you're gonna set the time this way. Here we go.
Oh yeah, so it is now.
Now it's like 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, yes.
Now it's 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And you've got the full escapement, the full balance wheel, which is in the middle, which is flying.
So I mean to say, it's, as you said, it's a marvel of engineering and technology. It's coming together, strengths of two brands coming together. I am noticing, and you can please share your feedback. Increasingly, brands are defining their own thresholds, and they are defining and going on innovating and having their own boundaries. They are just, it's nobody. Each and every watch brand today is innovating and defining their own, setting their own rules, setting their own boundaries. This is just a reflection of that. Why do you think that is happening? Is it more to do with that the customers today increasingly leaning towards mechanical timepieces, and then you're pushing the boundaries?
It's a good question. We've been pushing boundaries since 1846. It's not just a freak. The mission of what we do is to inspire innovation. That's why we make advanced timepieces. And the way we do it by advancing the watchmaking industry through pioneering technologies and unmatched craftsmanship. And we've done that in all the eras. Maybe a little bit less in the first 30 years, because the first 30 years Ulysse Nardin established its workshop, making his first complications, but also very accurate chronometers. And it's with his son, Paul-David Nardin, that they took it to a whole different level, especially in the world of marine chronometry. And the reason why we became the worldwide market leader, the reference in marine chronometry, making the most accurate chronometer in the industry, was because we never stopped innovating. We brought 15 significant innovations to the marine chronometers through the materials, through the power reserve, through the escapement. We've done the same in the 80s and 90s with Rolf Schneider and Ludwig Oschling, launching the first and still only bidirectional crown-only perpetual calendar, where you set backward and forward the very same information. We've launched the most complex astronomical timepiece at that time with the Galileo Galilei in 1989. We were listed in the Guinness Book of Records. And obviously, you've got the Freak, which has been a revolution in the world of horology in terms of design, in terms of mechanics, and in terms of technology. So I'm saying that because this is who we are, and this is what we've been doing from the very beginning. Therefore, we need to continue to prove that from a product standpoint. But we do it in the lens of advancing the watchmaking industry. Because if it's just something new, which is not moving the needle of the watchmaking industry, it's not innovation.
That's true.
It's a novelty. And here what we are doing through the Freak 1, through the Freak S, through the UR Freak, is, again, it's a proof that what you have in the back, the grinder technology, is the most effective automatic system in the industry. Because if you put a regular rotor on that, forget about it. That watch won't work.
But why, if I may ask you?
Because the grinder, basically, the way the grinder works, you have 4 levers. It's a patented technology of UN. It's like, for instance, a regular rotor. You are on a bike with 2 pedals and 2 legs.
Okay, that's very interesting, yes.
A grinder is like being on a bike, but you've got 4 pedals and forelegs. And the way it operates, it really catches the very tiny move of your body and of your wrist. So it works differently. It's not a regular rotor. It's very sensitive. And because of that, basically, it's twice more effective as a regular rotor.
So that having a grinder technology versus rotor, are you saying that will help the watch to have more of power reserve?
This is one. And being
It
able...
cannot increase the accuracy, right?
No, it has nothing to do with the accuracy. It helps the watch to operate automatic.
Yes.
And obviously giving a decent power reserve.
Yes.
For that watch to be, for such a complex mechanism, to be automatic, and on top of that to have 90-hour power reserve.
So automatic plus 90-hour power reserve. So that means it easily can run for
it's like
around 4 days, 5 days.
Yes, it's about that. It's about that. It's almost 4 days. Yeah. It's almost 4 days. So and again, because our mission and what we do is to advance industry. When the patents of the grinder will go public in like 2037 or something, we'll be happy for all the brands to use that technology, because it's better for the end user, it's better for the product. You make basically manual one calibers operate automatically. That's the reason why we do that. It's not just to launch a fancy, nice complication. We do it because the technology that you have inside might and will change the game.
It's a game changer even for the industry. Yes. It's not only Ulysse Nardin. It is game changer for the industry.
It is, and I think here you're touching something important, because at UN we don't aim to be, the biggest one. We don't aim to be, the loudest one. Again, our mission is to inspire innovation. And the way we do it through the advancement of our industry. We have two key, obviously we are the manufacturer. We make in-house our watches from A to Z, but we've got also Sigatech. Sigatech is a silicon lab that we co-founded in the early 2000s. Most of the production from Sigatech goes to our competitors. And we don't mind, because the mission of UN is to advance the industry. On the other hand, so all the silicon components, etc., obviously goes into the UN product, but it goes to many other brands. On the other hand, you have Donze Cadran. Donze Cadran, it's the oldest Swiss workshop dedicated to enameling. It's called Donze Cadran. It exists since the 50s. We acquired Donze Cadran 100%.
When did you acquire that?
Beginning of the year 2000. It was Rolf Schneider who acquired Donze Cadran. We make about 1,000 dies a year, but about 100 goes for Ulysse Nardin. Where do you think goes the 900? It goes to many other brands. And I will not mention it because, again, the purpose is not marketing. The purpose is the why we do what we do.
Very, very, very well
There is
said.
the advancement, but there is also the preservation of
the sheer art of watchmaking.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, very nice to hear that. I wanted to check with you. I love the buckle. This is the double fold pin buckle.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the size? What is the width?
So it's 44 millimeter.
44 mm.
But you've got a very nice proportion. I believe without the sapphire glass, it's only 12 millimeter thick. And the way the lugs are, pretty short, it actually fits super well. So yes, it's not a small watch, but the ergonomy is great for a watch which is 44 mil.
So it looks, to say, even on a smaller wrist, it will still look nice because of the ergonomics that it has. Yes. Yeah. And what about the price, and what is the, I think it's a limited edition if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, indeed. We are making 100 watches. And the price is 100,000 Swiss franc, excluding tax.
100,000 Swiss francs?
Yeah, okay. Excluding tax.
And would this be available in India for Indian customer?
Yes, absolutely. So in fact, what we the goal is not necessarily, to pre-allocate, all the watches already to the retailer. There is a priority that is given to retailers that have UN and Urwerk as an authorized dealership.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that it's a case of ethos, so
yes.
they will definitely probably get one.
What do you feel about India market?
It's a historical stronghold of Ulysse Nardin.
Indeed, it is.
Yes,
I would say so. I think goes way back from 2000.
Indeed. And I think the market is really developing well and actually quite fast. Early in the days, Indian collectors used to buy a lot of watches outside of India, but I think now they buy more and more in India. It's a market which we revamped the distribution, so we have a much more exclusive distribution. At the moment, we're only working with Ethos. We have about 5 points of sales. And I think it's definitely a developing market for us. I'm a strong believer in the local Indian market, and like in everything we do it with a very like a long-term view. I'm not after short-term sales. I want to reinforce the brand equity. Actually, most of the money we have, we spend it in research and development. And I'm looking at the Indian market like 5, 10, 15, 20 years length.
Wonderful to know that. Have you been to India?
Yes.
And so Indian consumer as well. Do you find that Indian consumer is different to any other market, or you find that the consumer is the same across?
I would say for the one that I've met in India, I saw some similarities, for instance, at some point with Singapore, where for Singapore, for us, it's like a major market where we have a lot of knowledgeable collectors. And I must say that the collectors that I've met in India, I was really positively surprised by the knowledge and the lens of their collection. And so huge passion. And I think I also, the last time I went to India, I've seen also a few younger clients, younger collectors, which I was very happy also to see.
So correct. So very right. You're on mark. Well, thank you so much is all I can say, Matthieu, for giving us this time. And we wish you good luck. We are sure that this will be sold out. And I'm tempted to ask you one last question. And I don't know whether, I'm sure this took 4 years for you. You must be already working on something else.
Yes.
It could be another brand, or it would remain Urwerk.
Look, at the moment, I prefer quality over quantity. Definitely, there is a fit with Urwerk, so we will do something else in the future. I don't know. I want to properly launch that watch first, and so far we don't have any concrete plans. Again, I need to be able to explain why we do it. If we just do something for the sake of making a collaboration, there is no point.
Agreed. Totally. On this note, I would say thank you so much, Matthieu. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you so much, Anita.
Thank you for watching this episode. And I hope you all enjoyed as much as I have enjoyed talking to Matthieu. Do not forget to press the like button if you liked the episode and leave the comments below. And if you haven't already subscribed this channel, do it right now. Thank you.